In this video we are going to take a few examples to understand the concept of angular momentum. Now find angular momentum of a disk disk about the axis as shown. This is the axis, we have mentioned it as z axis. So this is a disk of radius r. The only thing that we have to find here is whether this has a translational motion or a rotational motion. We are seeing from the diagram that it is only a rotational motion. So rotational motions means the formula should be L is equal to I omega, as I have discussed in the previous video. Now what is I for a disk along an axis which is passing through the center of mass and perpendicular to its plane? That is half of mr square omega. Half of mr square omega. Now as this is a vector, so this is the quantity which is denoting the magnitude of the angular momentum. Now what will be the direction? The direction of L and omega should corroborate. That means along the positive z axis. That means unit vector is k. We have to write the unit kg meter square per second. Now in the second case, similar is the diagram, but we have shifted the axis by distance d. This was the disk of radius r. Now we have been asked to find out the angular momentum with respect to an axis, which is at a distance of d from the previous axis. That means we have to use the principle of parallel axis theorem. That means it will be equal to ICM plus MD square. Now we have already found out what is ICM, that is half mr square omega k. So we replace all the values, that is half mr square omega plus md square. Not md square, it will be the center of mass has been shifted by distance of d. So I missed out the omega. So omega comes here. So this is the magnitude and the direction is similar as in the previous case towards the positive z axis. So we have multiplied with k unit vector plus k. This is also kg meter square per second. Now the third one is a particle moving along a direction parallel to the x-axis, having a distance of separation d from the x-axis. In this case, the linear momentum, it will be linear momentum translational plus L rotational, linear or angular momentum translational or angular momentum rotational. Now what is the translational value? It will be mvd. The mass was capital M. mvd. The direction will be plus k, no, rather minus k, sorry. So because the particle is rotating, the particle is moving along the another direction of positive x-axis. So the value of d is like this and v. So moving towards d and v, from d towards v, we are moving in a clockwise direction. So the angular momentum vector due to the translational motion will be directed along the negative z-axis. So minus k. Now for rotation, as this is rotating, the value will be I omega, and the direction I think will also be equal to minus k, because I omega is in the clockwise direction. So the direction of L will be along the negative z-axis. So a minus k. So mvd plus, what is I here? mr square, half mr square omega minus k, kg meter square second. Now the last one, now the fourth one is as same as the third, only one difference, that is the direction of rotation of the particle is in the anticlockwise fashion. So we can write L is equal to L translation plus L rotation. Translation is the very much the same value m, v, d and minus k, direction along minus k, but I omega will be along the positive z axis. So the value will be mvd minus mr square, m r square by 2 omega into minus k. So if we take minus k common from both, the expression will be mvd minus mr square by 2 into omega, also kg meter square per second. Now we try out another example. A particle of mass small m is moving with velocity v along a line y is equal to x plus 5. Find the angular momentum of the particle about a perpendicular axis passing through the origin O. About an axis passing through origin O, but the axis is perpendicular axis. So let's try to draw the diagram. The particle is moving along a straight line. Now y is equal to mx plus c we know. If you compare the given equation to this equation, we get m is equal to 1 and c is equal to 5 plus 5. So m is equal to 1 means theta is equal to 45. Tan theta is equal to 1, so theta is equal to 45 and c is equal to 5. So you can draw a straight line like this, the movement of the particle or the pathway of the particle. So you can write mv like this. This distance is 5 because c is 5. M is 1, that means this angle is 45. Now the question is, find the angular momentum of particle about a perpendicular axis passing through origin O. Now if we take this to be O, we can write angular momentum about O. That means we can write this as LO, mv cos of 45 into 5. Now why did I write this? So this is the component which is acting parallel to the x-axis, that is mv cos of 45, and the distance of separation, that is r, is 5. So mv cos 45 into 5, which you can get as 5 root 2, 5 by root 2 mv units. Now it is the direction part. Now what is the direction part? It is along the negative z axis, therefore LO becomes 5 by root 2 mvk, but with a minus sign. So this is the value for the angular momentum of the particle about a perpendicular axis passing through the origin O. Another example, that is two particles, one is m1, another is m2, each of mass m. So m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m, and speed v, travel in opposite directions along parallel lines separated by a distance d. Now the separation between these two is small d. So if we take this to be x from the y-axis, and this is the x-axis, this will be x plus d, a separation of d between the two motions. Show that the vector angular momentum of the two particle system is the same whatever be the point about which the angular momentum is taken. I repeat, show that the vector angular momentum of the two particle system is the same whatever be the point about which the angular momentum is taken. So these are two particles of same mass moving parallel to the y-axis. So total angular momentum means L1 plus L2. Suppose it is L, total momentum is L, so L1 plus L2. Now we know L1 as R1 cross P1 and L2 as R2 cross P2. Now what is R1 cross P1? Xi cross minus MVJ plus X plus DI into MVJ. Now how to explain this line? Now what was R1? R1 is the distance, that is X. X is directed along the X axis, so Xi. Similarly R2, that is X plus D along the X axis, means X plus D into I. This will be multiplied. Now what is P1? P1 is MVJ. Now for the first particle, this is moving along the negative y axis, so we have written as minus j, and this is moving along the positive y axis. This is moving along the negative y axis, so minus j, and this is moving along the positive y axis, so plus j. Now by simplifying this, we can get minus mvx I cross j plus x plus d. Now to multiply it by m, mvx plus mvd. This is also I cross j. So you have to take I cross j common from these two, or rather we can write I cross j as k from the vector rule, minus mvx k cap plus mvx like this. So these two terms will eliminate each other. So remaining term is mvd k cap. I cross j is k. Here I cross j is also k. Here I cross j is also k. So these two terms eliminate each other, and the remaining is mvd into k cap. Now we try to understand what is the geometrical meaning of angular momentum. And now we draw a similar diagram as we were drawing in the previous cases. This was the z-axis. This is taken as the x-axis. This is taken to be the y-axis. So if the position of the particle is p at time t and the position of the particle is q at time t plus delta t. So if we join, suppose this is O to P, PQ and OQ. So this is R plus delta R, and the shift that is from P to Q is delta R. So if you consider particle of mass m, consider a particle of mass m with velocity v in xy plane. So this is the xy plane, so moving with the velocity v in the xy plane. Now r and r plus delta r be the position vectors. PV means position vectors of the particle at t and t plus delta t respectively. That means the position of the particle is r when the time is taken to be t, and the position of the particle to be r plus delta, that is at q at time t plus delta t. So the displacement of particle in time delta t, there is a change of time of delta t and t plus delta t. So a change of time of delta t means is pq into delta t. In time delta t is pq is the displacement, so delta t into v, so pq is equal to v delta t. So the value of displacement, that is pq, we have found out to be v into delta t. Now the area vector of triangle OPQ. So area vector means half base into altitude. So half base into altitude is delta R, not delta R, it is shift V delta T. You can also write it, the value of delta R to be V delta T. Now delta A is equal to shift is half of R cross delta R. So half the base into the altitude, so half R cross R, half of replace delta R with V delta T. V delta T. The value of delta R is V delta T. So this is equal to delta R. Now if we multiply it with by M and divide it by delta T, we get half of R cross MV. Therefore M into delta A by delta T is equal to L by 2. This is P, R cross P, that is L, and by 2. Therefore L is equal to 2M multiplied by 2M on this side, 2M delta A by delta T. Now area is a vector quantity. Therefore the quantity delta A by delta T is the area covered by the position vector R per unit time and is called the aerial velocity. This is the vector R, so it is covering an area of how much? Delta A by delta T is the area covered by the position vector R per unit time. As it is delta A by delta T, that means it is per unit time and is called the aerial velocity. So you can write here delta A by delta T is known as the aerial velocity.